Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the world of a plant that defies every definition of beauty and survival, a flower with no leaves, no visible stem, appearing only as a phantom hovering in mid-air. This is the ghost orchid or Dendrophylax lindeni, one of the rarest and most bizarre flowers on our planet. This mysterious orchid was first documented by science around 1844 thanks to the Cuban botanist Jean-Jules Linden. However, its most renowned and enigmatic habitat was discovered decades later in the deep cypress field swamps of the United States. The ghost orchid's strangest feature lies in its biology. Unlike almost all other plants, the ghost orchid has virtually no leaves. It lacks a discernible stem too. The leafless phantom. All of its photosynthesis and nutrient absorption is performed by its unique network of flat green roots that cling tightly to the host tree's bark. Without leaves, it becomes almost invisible, a living web during the non-flowering season. The hovering spirit. When it blooms, the pure white, exquisite flower emerges directly from the roots. With its long, trailing petals, it creates the illusion of a pure white spirit floating motionlessly in the humid air, seemingly detached from its surroundings. This ethereal sight is what earned it the name ghost orchid. The ghost orchid thrives in the most challenging of environments, the cypress swamps and humid, deep wetlands of southern Florida, including the Everglades and Big Cypress National Preserve. It is an epiphyte. It uses the host tree like pop ash or cypress for support, seeking indirect light and high moisture. Its survival is incredibly specialized and fragile. Reproduction depends almost entirely on one species, the Morgan sphinx moth, which uses its long proboscis to reach the nectar and carry the pollen. Due to its rarity, specialized needs, and dependence on a specific fungi for initial growth, the ghost orchid is a symbol of nature's most mysterious and vulnerable treasures. It reminds us of the delicate balance that must be protected in the planet's wildest corners. The life process of the ghost orchid Dendrophylax is a series of specialized and interdependent biological events, highlighting the extreme fragility of this species. The pollination of the ghost orchid is a prime example of extreme specialization in nature. The ghost orchid typically flowers from June to August and releases a mild fragrance at night. While the white flower is difficult to see in the swamp darkness, its hovering shape is the main attractor. This flower relies almost entirely on a single species for pollination, the Morgan sphinx moth. This moth is characterized by its exceptionally long proboscis, which can measure up to 10 to 12 inches, 25-30 centimeters. To access the nectar located deep within the flower's long tail-like spur, the Morgan sphinx moth must use its long proboscis. As the moth approaches and inserts its proboscis, its head and body inevitably contact the sticky pollen mass. This pollen mass adheres to the moth's head, and when the moth flies to the next ghost orchid flower, the pollen is transferred, completing the pollination process. Fragility. If the Morgan sphinx moth were to disappear from this habitat, the ghost orchid's sexual reproduction ability would be severely impacted. The process of the ghost orchid growing from seed to mature plant is lengthy and highly vulnerable. Like most orchids, the ghost orchid seeds are extremely small and lack sufficient nutrients to germinate on their own. To survive, the seed must enter into a symbiotic relationship with a specific mycorrhizal fungus present in its habitat. The fungus provides essential sugars and nutrients for the embryo to sprout. This stage is long and complex, significantly reducing the seed's survival rate in the wild. After successfully germinating, often taking many years, the orchid develops as an epiphyte, clinging to the bark of host trees, usually cypress or pop ash, at a suitable height. The orchid uses its root network to anchor itself and absorb rainwater and dissolve nutrients from the bark. As mentioned, the ghost orchid is a leafless plant. The entire process of photosynthesis using sunlight to create energy is carried out by its green flat root network. Root growth is very slow. It often takes many years, sometimes decades, for the root network to become large and mature enough to accumulate energy and flower for the first time. The ghost orchid's entire life cycle, from its specialized pollination to its complete reliance on fungal symbiosis and root-based photosynthesis, makes it a unique survival master but also incredibly vulnerable to any changes in the fragile Florida swamp ecosystem. The ghost orchid serves as a critical indicator of the health and pristine quality of the Florida swamp ecosystem, the Everglades. Its survival and ability to bloom demonstrate that the environment still maintains the necessary humidity, temperature, and specific symbiotic root fungi required. Its unique structure, leafless, root-based photosynthesis, and specialized pollination mechanism by the Morgan sphinx moth make it an invaluable subject for research in plant biology, evolution, and conservation. In the past, and sometimes still today, the ghost orchid has been a target for illegal plant collectors due to its extreme rarity. This gives it a very high economic value on the black market, but harvesting and trading it are strictly prohibited and heavily penalized in the United States, as it is a protected species. Despite the precise location of the plant being kept secret, its legend and mystery draw visitors to the Everglades National Park, boosting ecotourism and the local economy. Due to its rarity and strict conservation status, any attempt to test or use the ghost orchid for medicinal purposes is illegal and unethical. Scientists and government agencies strongly advise against touching or using this plant in any capacity. Due to its rarity, specialized needs, and dependence on a specific fungi for initial growth, the ghost orchid is a symbol of nature's most mysterious and vulnerable treasures. It reminds us of the delicate balance that must be protected in the planet's wildest corners. Thank you for exploring the mystery of the ghost orchid with us.